Morning, guys. It is day 6 here on our cruise on Norwegian Cruise Lines. We just pulled into port at sunny Mykonos, and it is so sunny. It's also really windy here. We heard that these islands were supposed to be windy, and it wasn't windy at all in Santorini, which made it, honestly, it was very difficult to get around because it was so hot. But now, luckily, here in Mykonos, it is actually pretty windy, so we're going to get some breakfast. Catherine's taking a shower right now, and then we're going to go explore the town. Even before disembarking, we could see that this was an extremely picturesque place. We were excited to get out there and experience it, even if the wind seemed a bit wild today. In fact, it was so windy that our ship's stabilizers and thrusters had to be throttled up non-stop just to keep us in place. After getting some great views from the cabin, we made our way to breakfast to get fueled up before getting on our tender. Are you happy? Mm-hmm. Catherine loves pancakes. The island of Mykonos is located directly in the center of the southern part of the Aegean Sea, about 160 kilometers, or 100 miles, southeast of Athens. The island is only about 33 square miles in area, and the majority of its 10,000 inhabitants live in the largest city on the island, Mykonos. There are several other little villages that dot the island, but today we were only going to be exploring Mykonos City, located on the west side of the island. We boarded our tender boat and made our way into the harbor, which was only mildly protected from the winds today. The old Mykonos harbor is located directly next to the city, and was the site of ship landings for centuries. There is a newer harbor located a few kilometers to the north of the city, but luckily our ship tender docked right in front of this older, closer port. These ports have been an important part of the island throughout history, with Mykonos and other islands being central to the maritime trade of these Greek for thousands of years. Mykonos and the nearby island of Delos have another place in Greek history, mainly in its mythology. The island of Delos had a position as a holy sanctuary for over 1,000 years, and it was considered the birthplace of both Apollo and Artemis. It's even on the UNESCO World Heritage List. There are several ruins here that can be visited, and naturally Mykonos shared in some of these honors. While I was admiring the beautiful blue, crystal clear waters in the harbor, Catherine had different goals in mind. Somehow Catherine found the cats again. Like many of the other islands we've seen in Greece, stray cats can be found just about anywhere. In this city, the harbor doubled as the main area for restaurants and shopping, as well as containing a few beaches. Like many other Greek islands, this beach contained mostly sand and some pebbles, but the water was amazing, and beachgoers were having a great time. There's also a promenade that runs throughout the town, letting you catch the wonderful ocean breeze as you pass from shop to shop. The water near the promenade is actually very shallow, and we even saw some people just jumping off the promenade directly into the water without going to the beach at all. We made our way through the town to a small peninsula located in the city. Here we found the remains of the Mykonos Castle of Kora, which was a Venetian castle built hundreds of years ago to provide a defense against pirates. Today there are few remains of this castle other than the ancient stones scattered around the area. Directly next to these ruins is the Panagia Paraportiani, a complex of beautiful whitewashed churches that once stood next to the old castle's gate. In fact, its name literally means Our Lady of the Side Gate. It was not really that surprising that we had a day of wind and sun. The island is known for being blasted by strong breezes, being nicknamed the Island of the Winds. These winds are one of the reasons why Mykonos tends to be a bit flatter than its other counterparts in the Aegean Sea, having been eroded to an island of small hills by the winds over the years. The island also plays host to over 300 sunny days per year on average. We continued walking through the island's picturesque alleys and walkways until we reached the famed windmills on the hill. These can be seen from miles around and are one of the defining features of the city. The ancient inhabitants of Mykonos learned how to harness the natural power of the wind early, using it to mill flour and other grains. The current windmills on the island were mainly built by the Venetians in the 15th and 16th centuries, and have been refurbished to the state that they're in now. Some of the older windmills on the island have even been turned into homes or novelty shops. Now the windmills stand still, allowing visitors to take a look at them up close and enjoy how they sit regally on the landscape. From the top of this hill, you can also get a great view of the harbor and city below. Walking again through the historic paths and walkways of the city, we made our way to another tourist attraction, the Aegean Maritime Museum. This museum is a nonprofit institution that was created in 1985 to collect, study, and promote Greek maritime history and tradition. The museum is located in the center of town and has several rooms dedicated to things such as artifacts removed from wreckage, ship models, paintings, coins, and exhibits about explorers and merchants throughout history. In the back garden, there are also several larger pieces, including old stones, statues, vessels, and even a lighthouse. The experience was very interesting, and there's actually quite a bit to see here. The admission price also could not be beat, at just €4 apiece. We walked once again through the festive and colorfully decorated streets, checking out some of the shops and restaurants. Mykonos is known for its festivities during the day, as well as having a very lively nightlife. Unfortunately, we could not experience the clubs and bars at night, since we had to get back to our ship, but we did decide that a local beer should be enjoyed before we re-embarked. We made our way back to the port and hopped onto a tender that would take us back to our ship. On the way, we passed a massive yacht, much larger than we've seen at other ports so far. We found that this yacht was the Attila, a 64-meter Italian masterpiece built in 2019 that ranks in the list of the 400 largest yachts in the world. As you could probably have guessed, most of the sightings of this yacht take place in, of course, Monaco. Back on the ship, we got some great views of Mykonos as we motored back out into the Aegean. It's no wonder why this little island in the middle of the sea continues to be a hotspot for cruisers and travelers. The people were great here, the scenery was amazing, and the weather, although extremely windy, was very pleasant compared to the other islands we went to. Of all the places we visited on our cruise around the eastern Mediterranean, Mykonos was one of our favorite stops. Thanks for watching this video, and be sure that you like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.